Now, Cenk, you said it was the most obvious Nazi salute you'd ever seen, which I think
You didn't
Hitler
say
might be a
that,
bit
did you?
surprised about. But you
You
don't
didn't really
actually
say
believe.
that, did you, Cenk? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
Cenk, just to
I
be
didn't,
clear, you
brother,
don't
I didn't.
actually think he's a Nazi, do you? So how can you make a Nazi salute if you're not actually a Nazi and in fact absolutely hate everything they stand for? That's not a Nazi salute. It's a awkward thing that he did to say "my heart to you" that then gets deliberately misinterpreted as a Nazi salute by people who keep wanting to call everyone on the right a Nazi.
In today's video, Cenk Uygur absolutely destroys Piers Morgan and Andrew Wilson in a heated 2v1 debate over Elon Musk's alleged Nazi-style salute during the inauguration. Yeah, it's heated, it's chaotic, and Cenk is not here to play nice. While Piers and Wilson scramble to defend Musk and downplay the gesture, Cenk calls it out for what it is and backs it up with historical context and receipts. Whether you think it was intentional or just a misunderstood wave, this debate gets to the heart of how much power and influence figures like Musk have, and how dangerous their actions can be when left unchecked. So let's dive in and watch how Cenk Uygur shuts down Piers Morgan and Andrew Wilson in this heated debate.
No. So Elon Musk is trolling. So this is a classic right-wing maneuver. It's to get attention, and he knows that if he does a Nazi salute, but he says, "Oh, but I touched my heart, and I can't believe they're calling me a Nazi. I'm the victim. The left wing is coming after me just because I did the most obvious Nazi salute of all time." Now, the left is angry at me because I'm not calling him a Nazi. I think he's trolling. I think he's doing it for attention. And he does this plausible deniability. It's the oldest trick in the book coming from the right wing. In fact, when you get upset at the right wing, they usually go, he's just trolling, right? So that's what happened there. That wasn't subtle. And again, I have credibility here because when they accused so many people of doing this, I said no. When Laura Ingraham was at the RNC and she raised her arm and they're like, that's a Nazi salute. That's not a Nazi salute. She just raised her arm. Everybody raises their arm. He did that so crisp, so sharp, exactly like the way that they did in the Third Reich. That's not an accident. He's a smart guy. He's doing it to get us to do this segment and for the inauguration
Honestly,
to all be
Cenk,
about Elon Musk.
Cenk,
He's swallowing up all the attention.
I think that is the biggest load of cobblers I've ever heard in my life. But Andrew, over to you.
Yeah, so it is.
Okay.
So
Oh my
here's
God!
the
No!
thing.
Don't criticize when it's so freaking obvious. And what if he put a Nazi? He put a swastika on his forehead. You guys would be like, no! It does. It's not what it appears. It's not what it appears.
Calm down, Cenk. Calm down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, didn't interrupt you.
Andrea, go ahead.
By the way, it's great to have the old Cenk back, by the way, just for the record.
Yeah, I didn't interrupt you, Snake. Just calm down for a second. Let me respond
Go
very
ahead,
quickly.
Andrea.
Okay, so we have tons of evidence that Elon Musk isn't a Nazi. Kanye West, I don't know if you remember this,
I didn't
but
call
he
him a
ran
Nazi.
for he ran for political office when he released a swastika. It wasn't even a swastika; it's just something that looked like one. Musk banned him for it. Musk just went through and did a massive purge. He just went through and did a massive purge of all sorts of people who were considered Nazis or that the left had been calling Nazis on Twitter. It's a big thing right now. All the evidence points to the fact not only is he not a Nazi, but there's no good incentive for him to even do this. What's the incentive? You say, well, it's a dog whistle. He's trolling. He's just funning this and that. No, this is very common, by the way, for people to make this hand gesture. I have it from AOC. I have it from Clinton. I have it from all of these various people.
In the 1930s.
And the thing is yeah, I have it from all of the Democrats, Cenk. You can draw side-by-side comparisons. People have been showing you them nonstop. You just don't care. You don't care because you want it to be some trolling Nazi thing when it clearly isn't.
Then why did I defend all the other right-wingers when they raised their arms like that?
This whole debate around Elon Musk's salute moment at the inauguration has turned into a circus, and honestly, Cenk Uygur is one of the only people in the room making any sense. While Piers Morgan and Andrew Wilson rush to defend Musk like it's their full-time job, Cenk brings up a critical point that keeps getting brushed off. Musk knows exactly what he's doing. Also, the defense that he banned Kanye or look, here's Clinton raising her hand too is just nonsense. Context matters. Musk has been amplifying far-right voices, spreading conspiracies, and gutting efforts to fight hate speech on X. He didn't just trip and land into controversy, he jumped headfirst into it.
Then why did I defend all the other right-wingers when they raised their arms like that?
Because
even
the
Nick
same reason you
today
defend
was like,
left-wingers
that
when
was
they
the
do.
clearest Nazi salute. And by the way, I literally said, even if he put a swastika on his head,
No,
you
he
guys would
didn't
find
say
an
that.
excuse for it. And then, hold on, and then you said about Kanye, when he put a swastika on his head, it wasn't really a Nazi symbol. I mean, you proved my point over and over again. So it's a delight debating
I didn't say it wasn't a Nazi symbol.
And
I
even
said the swastika. I said it wasn't an actual swastika, but it looked enough like one. That he banned
okay,
it.
so
I didn't say
there you
anything
go
about
again. I mean, it's a swastika, but not
Nazi
really, because, okay. So, look, even
yeah,
Nick
symbols
Fuentes,
actually
an
look
avowed
like actual
neo-Nazi
symbols because they're
today,
actual
said
symbols.
It's an absolute Nazi salute. Yeah, so look, guys.
No, he didn't
you
say
guys
that.
are
You just made it
fighting
up.
against a ghost.
I mean,
Fuentes did say that.
Cenk, as
He
he did
didn't
it,
make a Nazi
as he did it,
make a
Cenk, he
Nazi
literally
salute.
says, "From my heart to you," or whatever the words were, right?
Yeah.
He literally tells
Touches
you
his
what he's
heart.
doing.
Yeah, that's
From
the
my
plausible
heart to you.
deniability. Of course.
Nobody,
Of course. Do you
nobody
think, Piers,
actually believes.
Piers,
Hang on, Cenk.
Piers,
No, Cenk, hang on.
You're a
Cenk,
sophisticated
nobody
media
actually,
person.
including
Do you
you, by the
really
way.
think he would have said, "This is for the Third Reich"? No, of course he's going to have
He
plausible
would if he was a
deniability
Nazi.
and make up an excuse. You know that.
If he was a Nazi, he'd say, "Heil Hitler. This is for you, the Third Reich. My love to you."
Yeah.
Yes, because he would be an actual Nazi.
You.
Instead,
Well,
he's a
first
guy
of
who
all,
literally
Piers,
a few
you're
months
fighting a
ago
ghost.
went to Jerusalem. He went to Jerusalem. He
Yeah,
went to the
but again,
and then he went down to the.
but
he went
Piers,
down to the
two things.
kibbutz,
Number
which
one,
was
you're fighting a
annihilated
ghost.
on
I
October
didn't
the
say he
7th.
was a Nazi.
He literally went.
I didn't
to the
say he was a
scene
Nazi.
Of the
You
massacre
keep going back to
of
he's
Jewish
not a Nazi.
people on
I'm
October
saying
the
he's
7th.
doing it for
It's inferred.
attention, and you know that, Piers. As a guy who loves attention,
It's not true.
You know he's doing it for the
don't.
attention.
I don't
so
know that,
stop making
'cause
an
it
argument,
didn't happen.
debating an argument that I didn't even make.
There is absolutely no way in the world Elon Musk deliberately did that to get attention as a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah.
The whole idea of that is fanciful, delusional, and deliberately,
No, not as a Nazi
deliberately
sympathizer,
manipulative
Piers.
nonsense.
As a person who goes, me, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's trolling. Do you not understand the concept of trolling?
I do.
So you
I'm
do
very good at it
outrageous
myself.
things with plausible deniability so that you could then come and go, oh my God, I got all the attention, plus I'm the victim because they're misinterpreting me.
Yeah, because when
It's
you're selling,
Trump's
okay,
oldest
great
trick.
argument,
You
Cenk.
learn
So
that
here's-
trick and he's
here's
doing
Cenk's
that trick.
argument.
So
Cenk, just to be
you're
clear,
having a
hang on.
nonsense debate about
Cenk,
whether he's a Nazi.
just to be clear,
I'm telling you that he did it for attention.
I hear you.
Let's be honest here, Elon's salute didn't just kinda look like a Nazi salute, it looked exactly like one, and as Cenk pointed out, even if Musk put a literal swastika on his forehead, these guys would still find a way to explain it anyway. That's the MAGA defense playbook: deny, deflect, and gaslight. But I don't think Elon is a literal Nazi, but he is someone who's constantly stroking controversy to feed his ego and rile up his base. He knows exactly what kind of reaction he'd get, and now he's playing the victim, like he always does, pretending it was just a heartfelt gesture.
But just to be clear, you really think that what he thought would be a good move as he's celebrating Donald Trump's historic second presidency starting, that what Donald Trump would want on the front pages the next day was not a picture of him as the new president, but a picture of Elon Musk doing what you say was a Nazi salute? You think he literally gamed that deliberately to troll people? What part of your brain
So,
thinks
Piers, let
that
me
is
ask you a
even
question
feasible
back.
from a guy who literally lands space rockets in cradles? He's got one of the biggest brains in the world. He was not deliberately trolling people as if he's a Nazi. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, Piers, let me ask you a question back. If you were giving a speech in the inauguration or in the parliament or anywhere, and somebody told you, hey, go say from my heart and do this exact thing where you even almost snap your boots. You know, he just snapped that salute, right?
He won't
would
do
you
it again.
Would you really do it? And I want you to do it right now
I told him,
if you say
no.
you would do it.
I told him, I didn't tell him, but I tweeted, and 10 million people have viewed my post on X, so he'll have seen it. I just said it was very ill-advised of him to do that move. Absolutely.
There you
Because
go. So
very
you think it
ill-advised,
did look like a Nazi
but
salute?
anyone who genuinely believes he was doing it to replicate a Nazi salute is talking complete bullshit. Andrew,
Yeah, and to just respond.
No,
very
but
briefly,
Piers
I want to bring
is
Andrew
saying-
in now.
hang
Let
on,
me bring
hang on.
Andrew in.
If it didn't
Calm
look
down,
like a
Cenk,
Nazi
calm-
salute, why was it
Cenk, calm
ill-advised?
down.
If
Andrew,
it didn't look
calm
like a
down.
Nazi salute, why was it ill-advised?
Andrew, he was ill-advised to
Yeah.
do it, and I'm sure he'll now realize that. It was an ill-advised act.
Okay, good.
So here's the thing too. This was off. This is something that's off the cuff. Cenk's entire argument here is it's trolling. Believe me, that's it.
Yeah.
No evidence, no anything.
None.
All evidence to the contrary.
You don't have
He doesn't
evidence
even
either.
claim he's a.
You don't know
doesn't
what's
even
in
claim
his
he's a
head.
Nazi. It's not my claim. You, the claimer. You bring the evidence. You, the claimer, bring the evidence. Oh, it was trolling. I have no evidence.
The
Believe
evidence
me, though.
is in the
Great
video
argument.
where he does a Sieg Heil
Oh, that's the
salute.
evidence.
And you're saying,
didn't
no,
do a
it's
Sieg Heil.
his mind.
Now it's a Sieg Heil.
You read his
Oh.
mind, and he meant really
No,
well by
no,
it.
you are
You're
the one claiming you
that
read
has
his mind. You're the one claiming you read his mind, and it's a troll,
I'm
bro.
showing- I'm
Believe
telling
me.
you what we all saw with our own eyes and ears. In fact, Piers admits that it looks like a Nazi salute. Piers is on my side on that.
No,
You're
I
saying
said it was
even
an
though it looks like a
ill-advised-
Nazi salute,
No,
I
no.
read his mind,
Let me be
and he
clear.
meant nothing but warmth.
That's
Let me
what
be
you're
clear.
saying.
It was an
Fire, and
ill-advised.
rainbows.
It was an ill-advised
No evidence.
movement of his arm because obviously the kickback has shown that. However,
Yeah. Great
however-
argument. Great
however,
argument, by the way.
He did
Believe
not
me,
say,
bro.
as you're
Believe me,
saying,
bro.
as you're saying, Cenk, he did not say Sieg Heil because that would have made him a Nazi saluting Adolf Hitler. He said, "From my heart to you." Rather less, I would say, contentious than Sieg
He
Heil,
snapped his
which is
goose,
what you
brother.
want people to think he was
snapped
doing.
that salute.
All
Okay,
right,
Piers,
let's
let me
change
ask you
subject.
one more question.
Let's change subject.
If Elon thought, oh my God, that's so ill-advised, I feel so bad about that. If somebody was saying that I did something Nazi, I said, oh my God, I feel bad about that if it was ill-advised. Why wouldn't he just say, oh, of course I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry if people perceive it that way.
Check.
But he
didn't
never
do anything
does
wrong.
that.
Cenk,
Cenk is right. Elon Musk didn't even apologize for this. Not once, not a my bad, not a that was taken out of context, not even a half-hearted if anyone was offended. Nothing. If it was really just a misunderstood gesture, wouldn't any reasonable person, especially someone with his public profile, clear that up? Instead, he doubled down and played the victim, as usual. And honestly, Piers and Andrew falling all over themselves to say he's not a Nazi completely misses Cenk's actual point. Cenk isn't saying Elon is a Nazi. He's saying the guy intentionally mimicked a Nazi-style gesture to spark outrage, dominate headlines, and then claim victimhood when people push back. It's just Musk 101. Piers even admitted it looked bad, calling it ill-advised, but then tries to brush it off like, well, obviously he didn't mean it like that. Okay, then why was it ill-advised? You can't say it's totally innocent and also say he shouldn't have done it. You're either defending the salute or admitting it looked like what it looked like. Pause. Are you getting tired of getting half the story from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite. How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, left, right, and center are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights into media bias and political trends. Stay informed, think for yourself, and check out ground news in the description down below.